Each and every person in the world have problems, hurdles in life, but very few have the courage to face and find solution to make it a history for the present generation. Welcome to the first episode of The Past of Future, the story of a common man, a show where somebody's past can change your future. Today we have a great personality who believes in making tomorrow better than today. He even tells that even if you're on your knees, give your best. Let's have a talk with him and know his story. So everybody has a past which makes him a person today what he is in the present. So what was your past? What are the problems you faced, hurdles you overcome?
No, actually, when I started understanding things around me, uh, when I started knowing the things around me, I remember my parents saying that we have come from very good financial background. But as such, that moment, what I saw was thatched house with it was a shed actually, a very small room which had a small partition, which was made up of bamboo and mud. Literally, we did not have door also. We used to pull the planks and place it on the door as a door. That was our shelter. And rainy season very horrible because the roofs were in a very shabby condition. All the water used to get inside the house. And I remember we used to sleep on these gunny bags. That was our bed actually. Pillows were like a plastic bag filled with old clothes, and even to cover also we had all torn old, you say, bed sheet and all. That's what we had. And once if the bed gets wet, we have to wait until morning. We have to move to one side of the room, wait until morning. And food, at least, another horrible thing actually. And when I remember morning when I used to get up and ask mommy whether there's a breakfast, no breakfast. But we used to have a cup of, I used to have a cup of coffee with made of jaggery. Then go to school empty stomach with just one cup of coffee. And my school timings were from 8:30 to 11:30. And 11:30 again used to rush back home to find something to eat. But again, disappointment. Sometimes we never used to have that also. Or by luck, we used to have this churmari, puffed rice. And if that is it is there, then we are lucky. If that is not there, again drink water. Take the books for the next session, next afternoon session. And I should say, most of the time we had our morning breakfast somewhere in the evening at 4:30. That is how it started. I mean, it was, I remember these things when I was in 5th standard, 6th standard. This is how it started. And books were also not available for us, no books. And sometimes we collected all those raddi and whatever papers we got from that, collected all those unused paper, made a book out of that. And sometimes go and ask relatives also. I remember one incident where I wanted an atlas, and the atlas was costing some 20 rupees. And when I went and asked one of my relatives, I want an atlas, please lend me 20 rupees, I'll return it afterwards. And they said, you whitewash this kitchen, then we will offer you this 20 rupees. So I whitewashed the whole kitchen. Maybe I was hardly in 6th standard. Then they offered me the 20 rupees. I went to, by the time I finished whitewashing, it was 11 o'clock in the night. but because of the fear being thrown out of the class, I went in search of that class. Fortunately, I remember that day with my younger brother. He was just 2 years younger to me. I took him and I lost that 20 rupees that night. And we searched the whole street whether we can get that 20 rupees. By the time, when we came to know that we couldn't get the 20 rupees, we came home and asked that auntie that I have lost the 20 rupees. Can you lend me another 20 rupees? Just for one at last. No, I know you people very well. She almost used the words as if we were thief, right? It was a horrible game. I remember even today. I remember in that colony we used to search for work. When somebody is cleaning their house, go and work in their house. And even in my own relatives, we were called to work if there is any function. Though we belong to that family, but the way they used to look at us, come on, do this work, do that work, do that cleaning. They used to literally boss. We thought that is life, part of life. And we had got used to it. And they used to do this work, do that cleaning, wash that vehicle, and even all silly work at home they used to make us do. And of course, at the same time, we used to wait for some award from their side. And once one of my auntie bought me a pair of slippers. I never used to have slippers, and even shoes also. Though I was admitted in St. Mary's school when we were in good times, I had to continue my education in the same school. With a lot of difficulty, I had to go to the school. And I remember I had a pair of canvas shoes which never had its bottom only, sole. I used to stitch that sole every day. And once at the school, as I was working down the corridor, one of my teacher, Gomes teacher, she was not my class teacher. She was class teacher of some other class, but she saw me and she called me. She asked my name and the class to which I belonged to. Then I sincerely told that I am so and so. This is my class. Next day, she bought me a pair of, used a pair of canvas shoes, and were really good. I was so happy. I cleaned it, and another incident where I was thrown out of the class for not bringing one particular textbook, and every day I knew that I will be thrown out of the class. I used to go to the class. The teacher, as soon as she used to enter the class, throw me out. You don't have textbook, go out. And this went on for more than a week. And finally, one fine day, she came to know that I cannot afford that book. She herself bought the textbook and gave to me. And I tell you, teachers have played very important role in my life.
You didn't tell the teachers that you are not able to afford for the books.
No, they were pretty well, they knew actually. And sometimes, sometimes when I was not able to tolerate hunger, sometimes I used to go and ask my principal. I remember once I asked him 5 rupees so that I can have something in the canteen. We had a school canteen. So he gave me 5 rupees and I wanted to return it back. So I had to, every time that 1 rupee, 2 rupee and 3 rupees, somehow I used to collect, used to get used. Again I used to start collecting from 1 to 5 rupees. And one fine day I somehow collected 5 rupees and went back to give it to my principal. He said, when you have 500 rupees, you return it to me, he said. I remember that. And the colony in which I used to stay was notorious colony, and my friends, I used to be with my friends, and slowly I started developing that habit of Gundaism and all, and I felt it was, it was something that it is really essential, required for me. Then whenever there used to be some fight or something, they used to get together like and have food and all. There was some sort of, it started encouraging me.
So it was the influence of the locality which you were in. When was this period, sir, when you started this fight?
After PUC, when I was in PUC 2, I was badly influenced by this. And I got into this Gundaism and all. There's not even a single day there was I never returned home without smashing somebody or hammering somebody. They used to take me into, I remember once they took me in a rickshaw, they just slowed that rickshaw and stopped and said, hammer that fellow. I straight away went, that first person was having something near that pawn shop. I went, hammered him in his head, and he had a cut here, started bleeding. He fell to the ground. I kicked him on the ground itself. And later on, when I came back home, the news reached home. The news reached home, and I fortunately, unfortunately, hammered a person who was working in one of my relatives' office. So the news reached there, and father also scolded me. And there are incidents where I was taken up to the police station also. And I saw my parents waiting for me outside the police station. Very horrible. And sometimes because of me, my brothers also got hammering from the police also. Discarded from relatives, discarded from the family. Discarded, of course, not family, by the whole colony. The whole colony gave a title, Gunda Danrema. Nobody believed me. And I got used to it actually. Whenever, when we friends, when we have to enter that colony, when we enter that colony people knew that these people are coming to hammer somebody.
That was the impression they had.
They had the impression. And sometimes, when we used to take away the person to hammer, literally, I and my friends, I remember my friend even saying, "Le hodatadaka huttevile now." And another friend of mine took a stone, holding his head, knocking on his head with a stone. And I used to sit, watch carefully. Only think, with how many seconds would we have to put the person down? And that had become a trend, that was become a habit. And I should say, it was like a qualification for us. People used to talk about us. That we felt very happy. People, they recognized me. That, and we were called for so many other, for some fight is there, they call us. And even some organization used me actually, used me for Rasta Roko, Rail Roko, for shouting slogans.
So till 10th standard you struggled to manage all your notebooks and whatever requirements for the schools you had to get for the schools.
No, actually, I remember in PUC first year, second year, I started managing, somehow. Yeah, the one dependent. My father somehow used to, though he was working in KSRTC, he had a tough time, but somehow he used to arrange it. The arrange in the sense, sometimes he used to fail to arrange. We used to make arrangements by working here and there, work here and there, thermocol cutting, thermocol cutting, and I used to do welding also. Welding and actually welding was my hobby actually. Welding and radiators, oil coolers. These, you might have seen these bore wells. Bore wells, they have big radiator like a structure. They are called as oil coolers. That needs welding and soldering and all. That I used to do. And time is there. I have sold flowers also. During those days, we used to literally write these number boards for vehicles. Near RTO, I used to sit and write those boards. I was a painter also. I used to sit and write the boards. I was paid 10 rupees for that. One of my colony person used to take me there. right? I used to sit there, sit in the afternoon, and sometimes the horrible time is during January, February. I had to go there, but that is the time where I used to. I'm really supposed to study. I used to work in the afternoon there because our school used to leave a bit early. Maybe by 12:30 we are out. So reach Navanagar, sit there and do that painting work up to evening, come home, and I used to get some money from that. So I had to literally work for this money, right? But I never felt it was I was doing something different, right? I felt this is life. But only thing what I was looking out for, what I can do. That's all. What I can do so that I can get money. Because I wanted to study also. Somehow I got to 10th standard PUC second year. When I
Why that came into your mind so that you want to study? Even though people like no, this much of problems I have, so they stop there only and carry on some other works. But you still managed to study. Was that urge to study? You knew something that because of studies only I can reach somewhere.
No, actually, one thing is the teachers who inculcated this statement like if you study, you can do something in this life. So that's what I had on my mind. But I really realized that study is important when I got to PUC second year. Until that, it was just casual. Everybody is studying, so study. So I have an opportunity to study, so let me study. One fine day, one incident I remember, I was about to give up my studies. Even my father told, stop studying, because I was doing this welding. It was in PUC second year. I was doing this welding in the garage, welding and radiator work. He told me to stop going to the college. So I thought, let me stop going. I stopped going to the college also. And I was in my garage, and one of my friend came to me. He told me, you simply go and write an examination. Tomorrow in life, you shouldn't feel that you have not written this examination. You write this. We were 9 of our friends. We were 9 together. And he told me, you write this examination. After that, you just have this PUC second year qualification. Whether you need it or not, you'll think later on. Then somehow he himself took me to the college and filled the form. My friend somehow filled my form, and I wrote second year examination. Fortunately, unfortunately, I got through. I was the only person among 9 friends who got through the examination. Second year examination. My other 8 friends failed in the examination. And during those days, passing second year examination was another big event, the great task. And then finally, they said, you start teaching us the mathematics. So I started teaching mathematics for my friends. I started with the failures of my own friends, second year, and I started teaching them. Meanwhile, other people also recognized me. And one of my relatives, he came and started seeing the work what I had done. I had worked on my own actually. Somehow I was able to get one textbook Ranganatha, that those days. So I somehow was able to get one textbook and swiped the whole textbook, and and after that I got interested into mathematics. I interested in mathematics and I started teaching. And people also called me to teach at their place. And some girls never used to come out of their house, so their parents wanted me to go and teach at their house. So I used to go and teach. So since PUC second year, as soon as I passed second year, I started teaching. So that time I started earning for myself and take care of my education, degree and all that. And at that moment also I used to do welding, radiator work and teaching. Then take care of my college.
So you got into BSc.
I did my BSc. And that time I was serious about it. Then it was an opportunity for me. It was an opportunity that I shouldn't lose this opportunity. Since that time I started working. At the same time, I had a privilege of teaching also. Then I thought these are a good combination. So I knew how important is a class. how important is teaching. So I took learning also very seriously. I did not go for coaching class anywhere, but I took this, whatever sir taught me in the class, I was serious about that. This is how it went on.
So what was your turning point when you thought of I should not do this and those fights and all, smashing?
There was an incident, I should say, I remember that incident even today, major incident, where one of my friend was stabbed, and in our friend circle, that was a commitment. Something goes wrong with a friend, we have to go and see, we have to revolt. Then as I told him that, this is what I had told him. So that one evening when I was preparing for my master examination, MS examination, he came running home. He was stabbed actually. He had tied some banyan around his stomach, and he came home running. Then he told me. Then I said, "Come on, we'll go and burn the house." We took 2 cans. It was, yeah, I remember it was somewhere at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the night. So we took 2 cans of kerosene, rushed to that house. Those people came to know that we are coming to attack them, so they left the house. But fortunately, unfortunately, they forgot one person in their house. I'll tell you that who is that person. We started pouring kerosene everywhere. The whole house was poured with kerosene. They had some 3 rooms in their house. And even we had poured kerosene over that kitchen platform also. In that course, so that matchbox had become wet. I was waiting there pouring kerosene here and there. Then I watched one small girl, handicapped. She was simply looking at me. They had forgotten that girl only there. She was simply looking at me, smiling. She's not able to understand what is happening there. But my friend had gone in search of a matchbox. By the time he returned, police were there. But they took that my friend and they took me to KMC because they wanted to write an issue on that stabbing. So by that, after that night, there were people from the other side, and there is a police issue, and all were behind me. And I was asked not to come home. Shukrupa Hospital, he was there those days, and I went and told my daddy, this is what happened. Then my father said, why do you want all this? Next day, early morning, I left to university because I had examination, these fight, police, Gundaism, all had become a mess actually. And I remember that morning, I heard from my friends that police came home. My brothers were sleeping in that small thatched house, woke them up, slapped them. Because of me, my family suffered. For what I was doing for my friends and all, my family suffered. At that moment, I decided this will not work out. There's no end in this. And already I had enough of this type of life. Then I thought, why should my family suffer because of me? Because my brothers were still very small, and if they walk according to in my footstep, even their life is destructive. At the same time, one person called Prince, he was behind me all the time. You correct yourself. You correct yourself. You have so many skills. You have so many talents. Why don't you put it for right use? Right? God has gifted you with so many good talents, and you are perfectly, your communication is good, your writing is good. Why don't you put it for right use? And that gentleman used to wait for me 3 hours, 4 hours. I used to tell him, Prince Anna, I'm coming at 4 o'clock. But I used to come at 8 o'clock. But you'll find that person sitting in that place only for 4 hours. Then say, Daniel, what have you decided today? You're going to stop all this. You're going to stop all this. What have you decided? See, just imagine your whole family suffering because of you. And this event took place. Then I was completely shattered. I said I was confused. Becoming a good person was not there in my in my dictionary only. Anything I think, anything I think it was crooked only. And everything a negative part. If I have to meet somebody, I knew that that person is going to talk bad about me. If I meet a relative, I knew that he is going to talk bad about me. If I ask somebody to have faith on me, I knew that they will not have faith on me. In that, correcting myself was very difficult. But one thing that when I was giving at that moment, as I told you, I was giving classes, and students had faith in me. They knew that I was teaching mathematics. That sincerely, I was teaching mathematics sincerely. So that one, I stuck on and went on. Started taking classes, and since that time, now also I am taking the same classes, same pattern. I know that there is nothing other than this. I have to work. That's the only thing what I can do. I should work. If it is bad, don't do it. If it is good, do it. I stick on to that. Even today I am following the same principle. The day when I started that I have to teach, only in teaching I can correct myself, I can correct my past. So that is what I'm holding today also. Even today also I teach. All those qualities what I had, all the blames what I had, they started slowly going away from me. Now this is my present. People know my past and they know my present also.
So in between there were people, they used to talk, no, you cannot do anything. How you face them?
I cannot do anything. Then I just zeroed down to what I can do. What I can do. What is the quality left in me? Even if today, even if I stop teaching also, I know that I can do radiator work. I know that I can do it, so I'll do it. Even it is a question of doing welding also, I can do it. Finally, if my legs and hands don't move also, I know that I can do a watchman job, I will do it. I will work. Because work is something that it's like an investment. It's not that it is this work or that work. That's the reason you might have seen me respecting my attenders also. Because they also work, that is a qualification. A person who works is a greatest qualification. You may have a great qualification, but if you don't work, it's of no use.
So how you address an idle person?
Idle person is, he shouldn't survive, that's all. He has to be a channel. He has to be a channel of peace. He has to be a channel to the society. He has to make use of himself for the society. Then his life can be given a good name. If you just survive, live a own life, and that's the end, I say it's of no use. And I know that a problem comes to you only when you want to improve yourself. Suppose if you don't want to improve yourself, there's no problem in life then. Only when you want to make things perfect, you are going to face problems. If you don't want to make things perfect, if you want to live as it is, then there's no problem. Only the question comes when you want to improve the things, then there are challenges.
To improve the things, there should be some mistake you should commit. So what was your biggest mistake and what did you learn from that?
The thing is, it is not that mistake already have done in the past, that is the biggest mistake. And that mistake will not repeat again. Because the mistakes what I have done, I don't think so I am going to face that type of mistakes in future. Because I have already seen that. So whatever mistakes what I see now, they are all very small.
So even though people nowadays have all the facilities, they don't make up their mind to study. They neglect. You didn't have much of the facilities, but you still made it yourself to get qualified. How was that?
Now I should say those who have all the facilities, they are not focused. Because when they have all the facilities, they don't have to work. Everything is ready made for them. Why they will put so much of efforts? Because they have everything around them. Their parents have provided everything to them. So why should they make an attempt to work more? But in my case, I had no facilities. So if I have to see these facilities, then I have to work. I have to earn. I have to earn to see these facilities. Definitely I started working. And even what I tell is even parents, I tell even parents also not to give all the facilities to their children. Let the children see what is life first. Then they will understand what is hard work. If you give them everything, they will not understand the importance of money. And you are literally making your children handicapped by giving all the facilities. Let them suffer. Let them see the suffering. You let the parents tell their own, because most of the parents whom I face, they tell me, "Sir, Navash Kasta Vodadevre." Please tell this to their children. Let the children realize that there is something called as pain if you don't work. There is something called as poverty if you don't work. There is something called as there is something called as suffering when you don't work. The children should realize money will not stay with a person. His work will stay with him.
So in your case, I found out that qualification is a way for civilization.
Yes. Now qualification is a way for civilization. Using the qualification in a right manner, civilization. Because sometimes some people use qualification for wrong purpose also. Now qualification should be used you should be used in the right manner. They should a person who is qualified, he has to make the opposite person know how better it is to be qualified. I celebrate Christmas every day. I don't want to wait for Christmas on 25th. I celebrate every day because every day is a celebration for me. Because when I see my past, definitely this is a celebration only. And I get food, good food. Those days I never used to get food. Now I get food, good food every day. It's a celebration. Why wait for a day for celebration? Every day is celebration. At the same time, you have to work for that celebration. And why don't you take work itself as a celebration?
Sharing knowledge gives you more what you have, like it gives you more of gain. So
sharing knowledge is the best thing that anyone can do. And I tell all my students, whatever profession they take, whether they take up medicine or engineering or any other profession, or if they are into banking, I tell them take 1 hour in a day for teaching.
every day is a learning.
Every day is learning. Yes, I am going to hold chalk and then die.
Is it told that even if you are on your knees, give your best?
I tell, yeah, you may have sometimes the times may not be very good. But one thing you should have it on your mind, that even when you are on your knees, give the best that you can give.
We are out of our comfort zone.
When we give a start to our work, that is there where your success starts. So you are going beyond your limitations, right? Then I say, when you are about to collapse, when you are about to give an end to your work, open your book. That is the start of your success.
Finally, what message you want to give for the present generation?
One thing I want to tell, don't compromise with the situation. Never give reasons. Whatever opportunity they have right in front of them, that's an opportunity for them to grow. And whatever they do, let them do it well.
Thank you for coming on our show, sir. You really inspired, and I hope so you will inspire more people also around who will be watching the show.
And my thanks is to all my students who made me stand in Hubli. It is all because of my students whatever I am today. And this is one song which I always used to sing in my bad times. And this song used to give me inspiration. And always this song has been an inspiration to me. God loves you. ಕ್ರಿಸ್ತನು ನನಗೆ ರಕ್ಷಕನು, ಆತನೇ ನನ್ನ ವಿಮೋಚಕನು, ಆತನೇ ನನ್ನ ಶರಣನು. ನಾನು ಕದಲಿದರು ಬೀಳೇನು, ನಾನು ಕದಲಿದರು ಬೀಳೇನು. ಕ್ರಿಸ್ತನು ನನಗೆ ರಕ್ಷಕನು, ಆತನೇ ನನ್ನ ವಿಮೋಚಕನು, ಆತನೇ ನನ್ನ ಶರಣನು. ನಾನು ಕದಲಿದರು ಬಿಡೆನು, ನಾನು ಕದಲಿದರು ಬಿಳೆನು. ದುಃಖಿಸುವ ನನ್ನ ದಿನಗಳನ್ನು ಆತನೇ ಕೊನೆಗಾಣಿಸುವನು. ದುಃಖಿಸುವ ನನ್ನ ದಿನಗಳನ್ನು ಆತನೇ ಕೊನೆಗಾಣಿಸುವನು. ನನ್ನ ಸೂರ್ಯನೆಂದು ಮುಳುಗನು, ನನ್ನ ಸೂರ್ಯನೆಂದು ಮುಳುಗನು, ನನ್ನ ಚಂದ್ರನು ತೊಲಗನು. ಕ್ರಿಸ್ತನು ನನಗೆ ರಕ್ಷಕನು, ಆತನೇ ನನ್ನ ವಿಮೋಚಕನು. There is some voice is some small problem with the voice.